Now let's go to the real juicy stuff. Zira's enforcers, meaning Nuka and Vitani. Now, if Timon and Pumbaa are comedic, passive enforcers, then Nuka is a desperate, tragic one. He is the failure, the overlooked, the one desperately trying to prove himself. Yet he is ultimately expendable in Zira's eye. This is where we see the shadow side of community. Unfairness. Nuka was the oldest. In any traditional system, he should have been the heir. But because Scar handpicked Kovu, Nuka was discarded. His entire existence is spent watching from the sidelines, yearning for a love and validation that he sees is possible with Kovu, but has never been extended to him. And let's talk about the psychological trap he's in. He can't blame Scar because, Scar was the great king, the golden age, the one who set the rules. He can't blame his mother either because, she is the leader, and more importantly, because he desperately craves her approval. He can't even blame himself, actually, because he has already committed to the role of eternal victim, so, it's hard to take responsibility when in that role. So, who's left? Why, of course, his little brother Kovu, the chosen one. And this is where we see the real tragedy of his character. He doesn't understand that his anger is misplaced. If he ever wanted to heal, he would have to accept one brutal truth, that he will never be king. If there was anyone to blame, it should be Scar. But blaming him won't change anything regardless, and this is where Nuka gets trapped. He can't move forward because his entire identity has become wrapped around his resentment and sense of injustice. His way of coping is to obsess over what could have been. And in the end, I think that's what makes his death so tragic. He dies still trying to prove himself, still believing that if he could just get one chance, he could have been great. But the truth is, we will never know. Maybe under different circumstances, he could have been a strong leader, maybe not. But the tragedy is that he never even got the chance to find out. From a Jungian perspective, Nuka fits the orphan archetype, but twisted into its shadow form, the neglected child who becomes bitter and resentful. He represents how unfairness in a community can create deep emotional wounds, and how, without resolution, those wounds can become the person's entire identity. So, if you want to prevent people like Nuka from forming, communities must 1. Acknowledge individual contributions, not just hierarchy. He didn't have to be king, but he should have been given a meaningful role that made him feel valued. 2.